Alrighty. Hey, Nick. Araculus. I've got your last name
Yeah,
that time.
got it.
So, obviously, last week we were in Vegas at the marketing event with the company and that side of things, and we got talking at the after party, which was at a mansion, which I think that was pretty freaking cool. Um, so yeah, look, I just want to appreciate your time first and foremost, coming on here and just being able to allow me to ask you a few questions about your journey with this opportunity, this business, online marketing, all of that sort of thing. Because when we got talking in the match, and I could hear that you've got a wealth of knowledge in there, and you're doing quite well in all of this as well. So I just wanted to share that with other people so that they can, get to see, I guess, who else is involved with these sorts of opportunities and things like that. So, mate, kick it away. What did you do before this? Like, what's your background?
Okay. Yeah, I can share that. Appreciate you having me on here, and I thank you for those kind words, man. It was definitely great meeting you as well. It was definitely a fun time at the event, and the little party afterwards. Got to kick it with some pretty cool people. So, my story, I guess, it's been quite a journey. I've been marketing online for about 6 years now. Half of that was complete and utter failure. It sucked at the time. And I know that kind of like, it sounds like a typical marketing story where people are like, oh, I struggled with this and then I had my breakthrough. But it's true. I mean, and it was because I wasn't really deep diving into it. I was kind of just dabbling from I would get excited about things for a while and then I would kind of fall off and get excited. And it was like a really bouncy ball mentality, and my actions were the same. And that's why I feel like I didn't have much success, and just, the overwhelm, the loads of information and everyone trying to sell you everything and anything.
Mm.
So I just felt kind of lost. And then I really got kind of back into it, and I found a community that was, really having success. I found a mentor that was doing very well, and he was gracious enough to, really kind of take me under his wing and just kind of show me the ropes. And that's when I got to my first event, and that's when things really started to take place and kick off. I just saw people were actually doing it, and it was more than just like a little internet thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, if these people, I remember seeing like one like old lady, she was like holding this like 6-figure check, and I was like, come on, like if this old gal can do it, like I can do it, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely just been very grateful for what I've been able to accomplish as of today, and always looking to get bigger and better here on out.
Yeah. So you would say now today you really treat this as an actual business? Because I know for myself in the past, it's sometimes been tricky to compute online business as being a real business, because it's not, I guess, traditional. It's not tangible like what we've been grown up and know about. But from what you're saying there, it sounds like where the shift really came from was when you started to go, this is actually a business. I got to take it seriously.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the cliche little saying is that something like, if you really want to have a business, treat it like a business. Otherwise, it's just a hobby. Like that's what a lot of people do. They treat it like a hobby. They're like, and that's what I did in the beginning. I was treating it like a hobby. I was just like getting excited when like cool things were popping up. And then when adversity hit, then I kind of fell off. It was just like, I was doing it as long as it was like good for me, but like I couldn't persevere past those adversities. And that's why I didn't have results. And that's why a lot of people don't have results, is because they treat it like a hobby. You got to treat it like a business. It's this serious stuff. And this is, just as much as anybody, there's people making $100,000 in a week that were speaking on stage. Like if you want those type of results, then you have to act like it. You can't just like get excited about something and then like quit 1 week later.
Yeah.
Things go awry.
No, that's totally true. And I think that's one thing that definitely attracts me to this industry itself, is the ability to be able to leverage the internet, which is obviously huge, and being able to actually make those sorts of figures. And seemingly in a relatively short space of time and things like that as well. I find it, it's at first can be a little bit hard to understand and hard to believe, but when you really start to, I guess, meet some of these people, like at the event and everything, you get to really see how it's, how possible it really is.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
So as you were sort of saying, you've had a look at a couple of different things. I don't know if there's any sort of network marketing there, which obviously is a little bit different to online marketing. What, I guess, how did you come across this? Like, what attracted you to it? What were some of the things that stood out? What are some of the things that you'd learned in previous, previous experiences or previous, even businesses, I guess, as well, that you went, you know what, this is good, but there's some things that's not quite there. But then when you saw this online marketing business, it was more like, yep, that ticks a lot more boxes.
Are you talking specifically about the company we've been working with?
Yeah, comparing that to some of the other ones. I know for myself, there's a number of things that stand out from the automation side of things, from the support, from like with the coaches and everything like that. So when I was looking at this, there are some of the things that jumped out. So like for yourself, what were some of the things for you?
Well, I've been in a previous company a while back that was doing really well, and I had met a lot of cool people that were having like big time marketers that were some of the people that we met at the event, and I've just known them for years. And when I see a multitude of these players that are starting to join up in different companies, then I start taking notice. I'm like, okay, if all these people are joining up, it must be something good. And then just kind of, I was really looking forward to the event because I wanted to get clear on some things, and I wasn't, I wanted to make sure the leadership was there, the community was there, the vision was there, and that's everything that I saw with this company. So, I've been promoting it for a little while, and it's definitely been producing some good results, but I was definitely looking forward to the event to get some clarity with all that kind of things, with all those things. And it definitely, surpassed my expectations. So that's, vision, leadership, quality product, it converts. I always look for something that actually works. I mean, well, if it's like getting bad conversions, like obviously you're not going to make money, much money, at least. And then just like actual real legit people that are in it. I mean, I'm going to follow for sure and then lead. Yeah,
absolutely. And that was just something like, unlike yourself, like I didn't know a lot of the people within this company before I'd actually moved into it, but I found a lot of value in listening to some of the top income earners and some of the top leaders' experiences and where they've come from and everything like that. And it's definitely attracted some high level players, some heavy hitters, this business. And the fact that it's only been around since March, I think is quite an amazing thing in the process as well. So, if they're all getting on board now, well, goes to say something.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, this is just the beginning. Like you said, it's just been around since March and stay like almost November. So just honestly, like a few months, like this is really just the beginning. Like I'm really excited to see 6 months down the road, 12 months down the road, and then a couple of years down the road. This thing is going to change a lot of lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll get into that time frame in a moment because I'm curious as to where you see yourself in those time frames. But coming into, I guess, online marketing, this opportunity, but online marketing in general as well. But I guess also more specifically this one, like how has things changed for you? Because I've noticed, I saw a Facebook post the other day that things have really turned around for you in the last couple of months, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have. It's interesting as an entrepreneur, like life, your business, everything, it's not going to be easy. Okay. A lot of people, they think, us entrepreneurs have it like just a cakewalk, and like I said before, I struggled for, those 3 years of not making any money whatsoever. And then I kind of had my breakthrough, but it wasn't like I became a 6-figure earner right away. It was like I started to have some results, started to carry on, and like things were going well. And then like I hit my first $10,000 month, and then things kind of slowed off after that. Like some things changed with the company, and things kind of fishtailed a little bit. And I actually ended up leaving that company just for some specific reasons. And then, I was just kind of on my own, like doing some like CPA marketing, just little things that it wasn't something I was really latching on to. I'm still making some okay money, nothing like to write home about, but I definitely needed something that I could latch onto, that I could get involved with the community. Wasn't really happy with a lot of things in my life, and just things were not, just like I said, as an entrepreneur, it was definitely one of those, we ebb and we flow, and, dips and valleys. It was definitely one of those times when I was not in the best place. So once when my buddy reached out to me about digital altitude. And then we just kind of took it by storm and really just started taking action and get that momentum rolling. Like, it's truly been a blessing. And now I'm, living in Arizona and just kind of traveling around quite a bit. And I plan on traveling the world here at the beginning of the year. We're just kind of, getting through the holidays and everything. So it's definitely been a blessing. And it's just being able being able to be around cool, successful people.
Yeah.
Just life is, I'm just very grateful right now that life is good right now, for sure.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. Because I guess that one of the things that stood out from what you were just sharing there is like, this in itself is such a personal development journey. It's, you can see people that are making it, and this works. And at the end of the day, there's just something that you're not quite seeing in the right way. And I could really hear there how this journey itself in the online world and the entrepreneurial world has been a massive personal development journey for you. And, I'm sure if you look back at the person that you were 6 years ago, it's going to be chalk and cheese to who you are today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how's that changed your life as well?
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, I've always been like into personal development. I played college baseball, and that's like kind of really where my journey started. Cause like baseball is a very mental game. It's funny how like baseball, there's a lot of parallels from baseball and business and just success in general. Is that you have to get your shit right up here. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter like what kind of strategies you do. It doesn't matter how good you are at swinging the bat or throwing the ball. Like, if you don't have it up here, like, there's going to become a point when everything is going to go haywire.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing with business. And like, I was talking with one guy in particular that I met at the event, and he's fairly new. And we were talking about some things, and he didn't even really know much about the personal development. I was like, dude, like, I can show you traffic strategies. I can show you how to convert sales and all this stuff. But if you don't have like the foundation up here, when adversity hits, then it's going to be mayhem. And especially like, if you do it on a grander scale, like it's interesting because they say, I want to make $100,000, whatnot. But like, when you go up levels like that, the problems become bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't get your shit right in the beginning, when the problems are relatively small, you have no chance on dealing with that kind of stuff. Like, there's just big, what do they say? Another level, another devil. Like, the problems just get bigger. Like, it's like Biggie Small said, more money, more problems, like, that's just the way it is. And like, if you have to be able to deal with adversity, and that's just kind of the way you always have to expect that. There's a lot of different things we can talk about. I'm not trying to get this negative. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying you have to have your stuff together. You have to be able to deal with that, but you have to be a strong individual that can just, that kind of stuff doesn't really affect you that much.
Yeah. And I think from there, it's more a case of those people that are coming into this opportunity and getting into online marketing, online business, their own thing. It's more of a case of, and I've been having this conversation with a few people recently that have been getting started on their trials and stuff like that. When you're going through it, you've got to appreciate that you're going to grow, and you almost need to grow as well. So I think some people get into it and think, I've been doing whatever it is for so long, I've got these skills, it's going to be the same, but it's not. And I think it's just more a case of bringing the awareness to the personal development as being it's kind of almost like a side benefit to it, because you're not the same person that you were before, and you're going to grow as a person, and it's more about who you become through the journey and that side of things. I know I can reflect on my journey a lot in that regards as well. So yeah, I think it's just not being naive that it's going to get hard at some point. And the way to be able to push through that adversity, as you said, is through, personal development, self-growth, everything like that, to really sort of, as you say, get the mind right. So you're able to actually push through it all.
Yeah. Perfectly said. And one other thing, like, to any of the viewers watching, one of the things that I would recommend fully is like, you're never going to be like quite there. Like, you're always learning, you're always developing your mind. Like, it's not like, okay, I'm not very good at personal development, and then I read a bunch of books and I listen to a bunch of audios, and then I do visualizations, and I'm good to go. Like, it's not that way. You always have to be progressing, because, and this kind of relates to it, but Warren Buffett said, that the quickest way to kill a business is self-satisfaction. And that's basically just being content with where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're either growing or you're dying, like those are two ways. You never stay neutral. So you have to be constantly improving yourself, constantly improving your business, setting higher standards. Like one of my mentors taught me something to really drive this home is you set a standard or whatever goal, the same thing. You
Yep.
set a standard, you reach the standard, you reward the reaching of the standard. So you know, do something, buy a watch or whatever you like to reward yourself with.
Yep.
And then you raise the standard. And that goes with your business, the business side of things, that goes with your personal development side of things.
Mm. Yep. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. So coming back to that, we were talking about in sort of that time frame, that 6 to 12 month period, like based on what success you've had over the last couple of months and knowing where you're at and what you're implementing now from a marketing strategies and everything along those lines, you know, how do you see things for yourself in the next 6 to 12 months?
I see big things, that's for sure. I don't think I'll really get into like numbers wise, but like one of the biggest things that I want to do is speak on stage. Like that's always been a dream of mine. Like I can't tell you how many times like I've literally just closed my eyes just to like see it. And it's interesting because whenever I go to an event, I get super inspired. Like I love the content and the stories that people share, but like when people start like clapping and cheering, like I'll close my eyes and I just imagine myself on stage.
That's cool.
And like you said, it's like the person you become. And obviously if you're speaking on stage, you're, you know, doing pretty well for yourself and your business, but even bigger and better. And I think you and I had kind of a conversation about this, is that you're really, at that point, you're really inspiring and helping other people. Because I think back to when I kind of had that shift, when I kind of like, you know, made the break to realizing this was, you know, something I was really struggling with to something I actually could do and start to get results. It was because I went to my first event, and it was because this one lady, she's like she just spoke to me. Like I felt like she was just speaking to me specifically, and I was sitting in the back. I was still fairly new, and like she like was like bringing me to tears. She was talking about like some of her story, and I didn't necessarily like relate to the whole thing because she like went through some like alcohol and drug addiction and stuff like that. But and I've never really had any issues with any of that kind of stuff. But I also did feel like there was times in my life when I didn't feel good enough, and you know, it just like things sucked for a while. But then she broke through, and then I, you know, eventually broke through. So when I saw that, was kind of like the moment where things clicked, and I was like, I want to be on a stage like that, talking to someone like me that's like needed that, and then inspired them to take action, and then just inspire them to like go on this whole entire journey just from one little speech on stage. So like if I can do that for one person, I'll feel accomplished. And that's really what I want to get to. I think that would be amazing. That's really my vision right now. But you know, in terms of the business, I definitely see incredible growth. Every month I've been in has been getting progressively better. So big things for sure. There's, like we said, this is just the beginning, since it's just a couple months in, or a few months in.
Absolutely. And I definitely know that you'll be up on stage. I have full belief in that, and I know you'll definitely achieve that. And I look forward to being in the audience when you are up there and sharing your story and sharing your message as well. I know it's going to be a fantastic moment. It's going to be exciting.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Most welcome. And also, as you say, from the business side of things, you know, it's all about the lifestyle. So it's not so much about the numbers, but it's more a case of what those numbers can do, and that freedom to be able to, you know, as you say, be up on stage and be able to present, whether that's at one of the business events or whether it's at another event or something like that, but being able to have that time freedom to actually be in those other locations to do as you know, to motivate and inspire people. So I think that's definitely what I'm hearing from there.
Yeah. Sweet, man. Thank you.
So we'll start to wrap it up now, but you know, what I've been present to over the last couple of weeks is I've got a lot of people that are sitting on the fence. There's a lot of people watching, a lot of people curious. Obviously, this is a little bit different to things that I've done in the past. So people are still unsure about what it is all about. Obviously, the company itself offers that $1 trial, which I think is the best way to find out the information and everything like that, you know, with the access of the coach and everything. But what would you say to people that are sitting on the sidelines that I'm not sure if I'm not sure if you experience this. Like you have people come to you, they're asking you what it is, and you're like, you know what, go do the $1 trial. You get assigned a coach who's a online marketing, expert. They know what they're talking about. They're going to run you through all the information and everything like that. Go and have a look. But then you still get people pushing back. And it's $1. I still struggle with this concept. I guess it's there's something there that's obviously missing. So what would you share for those people just to, I guess, inspire them to take action on, taking that step for themselves, really?
Yeah, it's interesting that you asked that, you asked that because I get that all the time too. I completely understand. And so there'll be people, especially the highest of top earners. Obviously they're not going to waste their time explaining something that costs $1 to get in, and they're just going to tell them to join.
Yep.
And, I honestly believe that the best thing that you can do is get them involved so that they can start experiencing it. That's the only way they're really going to experience it. But I also like to, take the time to not be a dick and just say, get in, but just explain that to them. And what sometimes I explain to, I like to talk in stories a lot. So just think about it from your perspective. How did you learn how to walk? Did you a bunch of ebooks? Did you ask a bunch of people questions? Did you, or hey, what's your experience with walking? How was it? No, you just do it. That's the best way that you can, the best way that you can actually go out there and get results, or the best way you can learn something. And they've done studies on this, and it's actually backed by science that the best way that you can learn something is by actually doing it through the process.
Yeah.
So, I can come in and people ask me all these questions and I explain a lot of it, but honestly, it's not going to click in the way that it will if you are just in the system, experiencing it, getting to go through all the steps, getting to go see all the videos, getting to connect with a 6-figure coach, and just go through that entire process. People come to me and they ask me all these questions, then they finally get started, and then they start going through the journey and start going through the process and the steps, and they're like, oh, now I get it. And I was like, yeah, exactly. That's what I told you.
Yeah.
So it's $1, and it's refundable. And I don't know if you want me to share this, but I will. They actually don't charge you that $1 anymore. They just want your credit, because the merchants don't like seeing a bunch of dollar. I don't know if you know that, but they're actually not charging you $1. So it doesn't even cost anything. They're just getting your credit card just so we have that on file.
Yep.
So if that helps you push, if that helps you make a decision, then, it's better for it. So yeah, just the way I see it is that you're never going to know until you know. You're never going to know until you make that jump and you make that leap.
Yeah.
And we never really know. We never know what's going to happen, because there's no guarantees in life. People ask me about guarantees and stuff, but it's you just got to take the chance, man. Tim Ferriss, the 4-Hour Work Week. One of the things that stuck out to me in his book is that he said, the only thing that you should be striving towards in life is excitement. So that's the only thing you should be going towards. You can't worry about what might happen, because you never know. You don't ever know.
Yeah.
And you just gotta go for it, man. That's the mark of a success, is just constantly betting on yourself, investing in yourself, and eventually you'll get there if you just never quit.
Yeah, that's true. And I definitely agree, coming back to what I just said before about this being a lifestyle business, and it definitely leans towards the idea of excitement, being able to travel and have that knowledge and have that experience to be able to and just grow a business online pretty much literally anywhere. So, and of course, when, as you're saying about the credit card details and things like that, because then once you've gone through the trial, if you actually want to get involved, with all the details are there to get started with and things like that. So makes perfect sense. So yeah, no, I do appreciate that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my link on the next page so that people can go and check it out and get involved and, start their $1 trial and that side of things as well. So, Nick, look, I truly appreciate it. I'm assuming you're going to be in Hawaii in February as well.
Yeah, most likely. I think I can make that.
Yeah, you think the boss will let you?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that event. I reckon it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to be around all of these people again, yourself and everybody else that was at the event in Vegas. And I'm sure there'll be a few more people that couldn't make it to that event. you know, more knowledge, learning more about traffic methods and things like that, and more online marketing skills and everything, which is really just a tangible thing, whether it is online business or if it's even promoting your own traditional business. I think it's definitely knowledge that is really required and that sort of thing. So yeah, mate, look, I do appreciate it. Any closing words from yourself?
I'd say anybody watching this that you should get started with Brett, because he's a good dude. You know, you can come online, you can see all, you know, making videos and stuff like that. But when you actually get to meet someone in person, you can really get a basis for who they are and what they stand for. And I remember when I met you, dude, like I was like, this is a solid dude. Like he's going places. So if you guys want to get on a team and a community that's really going to start rocking it, I would definitely get on with Brett. So that's all I got to say.
Mate, I truly do appreciate that. And I'm going to close out by saying I'm glad that we color-coded our T-shirts today.
Yeah, we planned that for us today.
All right, buddy. Well, look, I'm going to close that off, and I can't wait to see you in Hawaii and everything like that. But I know we'll be talking before then anyway. So
definitely, man. Well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Most welcome. You have a fantastic afternoon.
All right. Bye-bye.